Welcome to Bothering the Band. Today is a great, great day. We have the one and only G Love with us today.
Yo!
Yeah. I mean, the list is so long. Grammy nominated musician, artist, traveler, father, farmer, now children's book.
Farmer. Okay.
We saw your Instagram, man. We saw the chickens.
Right. Okay, man.
So I have to start by saying this. We, from the bottom of our heart, we are diehard fans. We've been fans for a long time. I've seen you live in Florida, in New York. So this is an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to be here with you guys.
Yeah, man. All right, we're ready to kick it off. The first question I have is, how do you personally describe your music?
Right, we call it the hip hop blues.
Okay.
And so it's kind of it kind of happened by kind of following the my acoustic guitar first, kind of folk music and folk rock, and then I discovered the Delta blues when I was about 17, and so that was kind of my musical path, and then kind of culturally growing up in Philadelphia, and kind of in the inner city, kind of participating in a lot of kind of the hip hop culture of the 80s, basketball, graffiti writing, skateboarding. That kind of the soundtrack to that was always hip hop. So musically, I never really, especially at a young age, like was trying to go anywhere near hip hop. I was going more folk and blues, but then one day it just kind of, the two worlds kind of collided, and that's kind of when I really came on a unique sound, and that was it, man. So I always tell people, to say, well, what are you got any advice for younger musicians? I was like, yeah, man, the best thing you can do is be original. So when you find, it's a search, you got to keep honing your craft, and hopefully you stumble upon that originality, and that's the most important thing.
Well, you lock that in, because there's no one out there like you. And when your music found me at a young age, I was just like, well, all right, this is it. I'm happy.
Okay. Right on.
All right. Really dumb question. If you had to bathe in one condiment, what would you choose?
I don't know, man. This beer seems kind of fizzy. That might be. Is that not a condiment though? Bathe in a condiment. Let's see. How about? Oh man, I don't know. The mayonnaise just popped in my head, but that sounds kind of nasty. I'm gonna say olive oil.
Olive oil wins. That's fun. Mayonnaise sounds real gross.
Yeah, it does. Right.
It sounds real gross. Okay. Would you rather share a tent with Jack Johnson after he ate a bunch of vegan beans, or would you rather share a tent with Ben Harper doing kickflips all night?
Wow, man. Definitely, I go with I don't want to make Ben jealous, but I think I could sleep through Jack's vegan gas, but I don't know that I could sleep through Ben's kickflips.
Yeah.
But on a side note, I have to say, big props to Ben Harper for. I'm sure he's always been into skateboarding, but wow, like to really kind of tackle it head on at his age and pull the tricks off that he pulls. It's pretty remarkable, man.
Yeah. He posts his kickflips all the time. That's why we do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I've never watched an episode, but Caitlin, the blonde woman, who's like one of the principals on it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because she used to come to every time we play in LA, she was like a diehard fan, and she used to come out to the shows, and then she she was always super sweet, and I got to meet her a bunch of times, and then and we knew she was like a comedian, and then all of a sudden she like hit the big time, and I said, damn.
Yeah, that's cool. She's also on Curb Your Enthusiasm too.
Oh, that's right. She's on Curb Your Enthusiasm too, which really blew it away for me because I'm a huge fan of that show. And when I saw her in that, I was like, damn.
Yeah. What did you ever have a lemonade stand growing up as a kid?
I did. I had a lemonade stand, and one thing I remember is that the tall ships, the big like huge sailing ships, they go on tour. When they came to Philadelphia this one year in the '80s, and I must have been like 1980 because I think I was like 8 years old, and I put my lemonade stand out that day, and I made $80. We're 8 years old in 1980. So thank you, tall ships. Yeah, but I did have a lemonade stand.
Okay. So I have to follow that question with this question. What's your deal with juices and beverages and liquids?
Lemonade.
I love it.
Yeah, well, all right. So I guess it starts with lemonade. So to me, I kind of like, I don't know, I was always kind of make a picture of lemonade. It seemed like I was always drinking lemonade when I was practicing my guitar. And when I moved to Boston, I would get the like frozen Minute Maid, lemonade concentrate. And then I make a picture of lemonade, and I would sit out on a beautiful day like today and just practice my guitar and write songs all day. And I said to myself, I said, well, look, if I ever get a record deal, I'm gonna get lemonade tattooed on my arm. So when we got a record deal, I did. And I'll never forget the one day because Jeff, my drummer, was staying at my parents' house with me in Philadelphia where we were down recording. And, we both kind of just were out in the city that day. And well, we came back and we're sitting around my parents' kitchen table, and we both got this like smirk on our face. And he goes, what are you smirking about? I don't know, what are you smirking about? Well, we both got tattoos that day. So I got my lemonade tattoo that time. And then Jeff got the Star of David on his groin. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. We both just snuck out and got tattoos. So that was it. And then sauce, like the sauce was like, that's just something that you would say like, oh, that's a saucy, that she's a saucy gal, or, meaning she's got the chutzpah or the attitude. So, or, stop giving me the sauce, that's what expression. So I don't know. I just wrote that song, Baby's Got Sauce, and it was a super sticky thing, and no one quite knows what it means. And that's, but they, what I'm saying? So that was like the sauce, but so that was the thing. And then, well, then my latest project, The Juice, right?
Mhm.
The Juice was, again, kind of an analogy for not a juice, but, you got the juice, like you got the power, right? Yeah. And so, but then we have other stuff. Yeah. So food related songs like The Recipe, hot cooking, yeah. So we have like a big foodie family. Like my mom's like a chef, and she used to teach cooking class for kids in the house, and so food is like a big part of our life. So it's a big part of the kind of culturally, like where I come from. So it's something that is always coming up in my songwriting. Like I relate different things to flavors, or sauces or whatever. Yeah, so I write about it. I write about like the simple things, and I write about everything. But I learned from like some of the songwriters that really influenced me, like people like Bob Dylan and John Lee Hooker, even Bob Marley. Like some of the greatest songwriters of all time. And sometimes I feel like people forget these guys were also some of the funniest songwriters of all time, or they had tongue in cheek, like, and for all of Bob Marley's political songs, and Bob Dylan too, they wrote a lot of just love songs. Like Bob Marley's like Steer It Up, he said, your recipe is so tasty, what I mean? And Bob Dylan, same thing. Like, he had that song Country Pie, pass that strawberry, lemon, and lime, what I mean? And John Lee Hooker would write about food and drinking all the time. So, that's a part of culture. And, so I kind of try to balance all those things that we're living and feeling and breathing and tasting into the writing,
Yeah. Wow.
Sauce it up.
Sauce it up. I like when your Philly accent comes out, John.
John's a funny one, because like
I tried to shoehorn that in.
Yeah, back in the day, like John like that was just like a straight up like Philly kind of, I mean, honestly, like kind of a African American, you know, it was like a, you know, like it was part of the, slang talk, right?
Yeah.
So like, I first heard the word John like it when I was playing in basketball league or something.
Yeah.
And some of my black friends would say something like, yo, that John's dope, or like, oh yeah, like, whatever. And then so slowly and slowly, and then I had a friend, my rapping partner Jasper was from Augusta, Georgia. So in Augusta, Georgia, they don't say John, right? They say Jan. That that Jan was dope. And I say, oh yeah, that John was dope. And he would say Jan and I would say John. And then it's just kind of funny because like over the years, now John's like this, this huge like Philly thing, right? And like everybody says it, it's like a thing. Like I even have like a photographer friend of mine whose Instagram handle is Steve John. He's from Philly, but he lives in Nashville. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Like it's funny how like, counterculture stuff like that, like over time, it becomes kind of mainstream, this kind of Philly thing. So it wasn't always like that. It's funny. It's funny.
So I had to shoehorn in John in there somewhere just for my Philly friends because they'll if I didn't.
They're gonna be like, damn, that was so lame how G broke down the history of John. I actually had a song though. We used to say like, damn, I got those blues, I got those Jones.
Yeah.
Like me and my buddy John would be, damn, I got those Jones, man. You all right? No, I got those Jones, man. I mean, I got the blues.
I have to ask, what's your favorite warm beverage?
I guess iced coffee.
Okay. Coffee's your favorite warm
No. Just coffee. Yeah, coffee. But now I can't. Now this time of year, I like to have iced coffee. But yeah, coffee.
Yeah. All right. So since we were on the Philly kick, okay, you can only choose one: Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, or Eagles.
Oh shit, man! I'm gonna have to go with the Sixers because we're in the playoffs right now and we're looking good. But rolling like probably would say I'm most passionate about the Eagles, but right now, man, I'm all Sixers. Like I'm back on the bandwagon because like, I had to move from Philly in 2004 to follow my kids. So I moved to Boston. So then I couldn't see the local games, right? And so I kind of like fell out of touch with the Sixers. So, like I was watching like all the games around like the early 2000s, like when it was like Iverson and that whole situation.
Keith Van Horn.
And then, I just kind of moved away. So Keith Van Horn. Yeah, I just lost touch. But now it's great to, it's just great right now that we're in the playoffs. It was just great to be number one this year. And hopefully, Atlanta looks tough. But yeah, Sixers. We're going to go 76ers, baby.
All right. So as a basketball fan myself, how do you feel about Ben Simmons?
So Ben Simmons, like, well, so you have to think like, all right, so he's Australian. And then you think, well, damn, that's kind of a problem. Right. So you always have a little bit of a problem with the international players, right? And then you think, well, all right, there's an international game now. So who's this cat Ben Simmons? And you think, well, I love Ben Simmons, man. And I think his girlfriend's super hot, Kendall Jenner. I got a big crush on her. Don't tell my wife. And then I think, man, how can he be focused on like his basketball enough if he's dating like Kendall Jenner's got to be pretty high maintenance, but that's his own personal thing. And then I think, well, it seems like they really settled into a thing with him kind of playing support to Embiid. So I think they finally it was unclear for a while whether he was going to be like the Billboard player of the franchise player of the 76ers. And now he's more of a support role to Embiid, which, that kind of shook out. And so, yeah, man, he's a great player, man.
I think they underestimate his defense. I think he
plays
defense.
defensive player of the year. So
Yeah. Everyone.
yeah, I mean, he has to get his free throw shot together. He has to become a better shooter. So that's what they've been saying about him for years, right? So so my father would say, he doesn't do it. He only does layups, because he doesn't have an outside shot game, and he's not like a big dunker. He just does layups and defense, but that's fun.
I'll take it. I'll take it on my team.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Have you ever been to a rodeo?
I have.
Have you ever been in a rodeo?
I have not. The last time I was in a rodeo situation was we played this crazy country bar in, I think in Fort Worth, Texas. Man, I can't remember the name. It's like a bull riding bar. It's like a huge, massive bar with a venue and food and like the size of a football field. This huge warehouse thing, and they actually have bull riding, like the circuit comes through. So we were playing a show. We got to watch the bull riders, and man, so they had the rodeo clowns and man, that's man, those guys have a kind of, that's a tough life. Those guys they're on this kind of touring circuit. Unless they're winning, which only one person can win, they might lose money, and even the purses on like a lower level aren't even that big. So it's a real kind of cultural thing, but it's real cool, man.
Yeah, that's tougher than I can muster.
Those guys are tough, man. They're fucking tough. Actually, I saw one guy dislocate his shoulder, and another rider popped his shoulder or his arm back in, or his elbow. Something dislocated, like while we were watching, and we watched him on the side, and his buddy, like, we were like, what?
That's insane. That's like Lethal Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Gibson. No, I have no segue for this next question. Other than you have a Christmas album, and do you have any like unique family Christmas traditions?
Yes, and I will say that this will be my first promotion for my new Christmas record, which I just listened to the final mixes today, and that record's the first Christmas record's Coming Home for Christmas, and the new one's called Coming Back Home for Christmas, and it's coming out like Black Friday or something. So to answer your question, yes, our family tradition is to Christmas carol, and my Uncle Bob and I used to do it, and he passed, and now my brother-in-law Juan and we do it. So we're called Los Dos Hermanos, featuring El Nino, which is one of the kids. So yeah, that's always like a big thing to do the caroling, and I recommend it for every family out there, whatever you celebrate, because it's sometimes the holidays are just so frantic, and with everything, and it's like you can really lose sight of, not only the religious aspect, if that's your deal, but like just like just the specialness of being together, right? And so the music is the thing that kind of like they're singing, or you're sitting around and like singing some songs together. That really kind of, to me, is like the magical part, and like where we all really connect.
Yeah. Do you go like house to house like in the old days?
No, my brother-in-law, he does that with his friends in Charlestown, here up in Massachusetts. But we used to do that back in the day, like in high school. We did that a couple times. But yeah, no, we just have some family and maybe a couple friends over, and yeah,
just sing it up. That's cool.
Sing it up, man. Yeah, come over, man.
Oh man. So are you raising chickens on Instagram? Like I'm seeing.
Yes. Yeah, they're down there. I don't know.
Okay.
They're kind of a little ways down there, but yeah, they're down there with the goats. And yeah, we I can just we can just walk down there and I'll show you because we can talk about other stuff too. But yeah, we had 12. We got 12 chickens at the pandemic. We panicked and like, oh my god, we gotta start growing our own shit and like we got to get chickens so we can eat, or the eggs and stuff, and then we can survive like that. And I'm gonna flip the camera here. So let's see.
You didn't have to go walk down there.
I know, but it's pretty awesome because look, this is like the cutest thing ever because they're all in this chair right here. That are little chicks. So here's some little chicks. There's your mom, Delilah. She was famous from the G Loves Kids Club. And so we had one of our gigs. We got and here's the goats over here. One of the gigs we got, someone gave us a rooster at this gig in Connecticut. So I brought it home. I named him Dutton. This is Truffle right here. Hey, buddy. Yeah. The goats are you? Oh, there's Molly. Hey, Molly. Come here, girl. So, one of the gigs, someone gave us a rooster, and we named the rooster Dutton. And then we brought it home, but the roosters were real aggressive. They would chase after Lewis, my son, and he was terrified. So my wife wanted to kill the rooster and get rid of him. Well, I became kind of, I love all the animals, so I take care of them. So I want to kill the rooster. So I said, well, so the roosters fertilizing all the chickens, and then so long story short, before this little tour, we let them brood on the eggs, and then we went on a tour and they were brooding on the eggs. In the meantime, our dog Blueberry, this Blueberry right here, hey Blueberry, he murdered Dutton the rooster. He's a murderer. He's a sweet guy though. But Dutton lives on because he's six kids, man.
Yeah.
And that was it. So we have the chickens.
Okay, so thank you for the tour. Man, now we got to release this like visually somehow. What's easier, surfing or raising chickens and goats?
Raising chickens and goats.
Yeah.
So surfing is like it's like golf. If you're a golfer, like it's like the kind of sport that like, is constantly rewarding and frustrating at the same time. And sometimes you feel like, Kelly Slater, and then sometimes you just feel like the biggest asshole in the world. It's a challenging passion, and it's because it's like one of those sports like you against yourself, and but there's this, but it's such it's really is like a passion of mine. And it's crazy because like up here where we live up in Cape Cod, there's like a really big, and this is a real deal shit, there's a huge great white shark population that's starts coming in right now pretty heavy. Like I saw one last week. I saw a great white shark breach out of the water, like right where I surf. Like just full on, it's like the whole body out of the water and then splashed down. And I've seen them out in the water, and then you ask yourself, like, why would I ever like go surfing? And I don't know, like you just can't. It's just part of your life. Like you can't like keep out of the water.
Yeah, no, I grew up surfing too, so but to me that seems easier than raising a bunch of chickens and goats.
I know the chickens are super easy. Like they just walk around the yard all day, and then at dusk they go by their coop, and then I put them in, and you got to feed them and get the eggs every day. And the fresh eggs are unbelievable. And I clean the coop every day, like scrape out the poop from this thing that you pull out. It's pretty easy. And the goats are a little. See, the reason the goat, like when I just show you the goat's in the pen, because I let the goat out of the pen, which I do like half in the morning. I let them out for a couple hours, but see, like they'll eat, like they say like, oh yeah, you're going to get goats and they're going to eat your poison ivy and they're going to eat all your weeds. And really what they eat is like all your expensive plantings, like your flowers and your marijuana plants and your garden and everything you don't want them to eat. That's what they eat. And the shit that you do want them to eat, they don't even fuck with. Because they're like, no, I'd rather eat this marijuana plant over here. You know what I mean?
Then you got a bunch of stone goats running around.
Yeah.
What's harder, busking or graffiti?
Well, that's an interesting thing. Well, I would ultimately say graffiti, because even though you could technically go to jail for busking in the wrong place, you most likely won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The cops might kick you out, but graffiti, if you get busted, you know, and you don't run fast enough, you're gonna get, you know, you could really go to jail for that. So that would suck. Yeah, so it's funny, like I've been writing graffiti like since I was a kid, and I always like carry like a marker in my, you know, like a fat paint marker, and like try and bust tags sometimes. And like I still like will bust a tag, like if I'm in like a city and walking down the street and there's like, but then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, how stupid is that? Like, so mostly I just tag like backstage, or if I go to like a bar and there's like a bathroom that's all bombed out, I'll like hit that up. But yeah, try to keep down the chance, like try to not go to jail. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Try not to go to jail.
Have you ever found food in one of your harmonicas?
Well, I found the weirdest. So yes, well,
Okay.
I will tell you the worst thing that I've ever inhaled in my harmonica was like, we have a lot of earwigs here in the summertime, and last summer, like I went to get my harmonica and like inhaled a fucking earwig. That was like so nasty.
Oh my goodness! Did you swallow it?
Yeah, I think I swallowed it and then like spat it out.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty. That was nasty.
So we always write these questions prior, and there's a few that you write, and then it's always more awkward asking them. So here we go.
All right. Okay.
What's your favorite Charles S. Dutton film?
How do you think of all this shit, man? Charles, I don't know who that is. Charles S. Dutton.
Okay, he was in, I don't want to give you the movies because I want you to pick your own. He's an African-American actor. He was in a show called Rock in the 90s. You have to Google him. He was in Rudy. He was in Menace to Society.
Man, I can't answer that because I don't even know that I've seen it. Rudy was the football one, right?
Yeah. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know who that is?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll pass on that one.
This is all part of the adventure here. Bothering the band. Where exactly were you when you found out you were nominated for a Grammy?
I was that's kind of a little funny little story, because I was sitting there. So we were on our first tour of our second tour of the pandemic. Our second tour during the pandemic. We were doing these backyard parties. And the second one we did in November or October 2020, we started getting too cold to play in New England. We went all the way down to Florida, and was in my parents' house in Sanibel, Florida. And, you know, of course, me, like everybody else during the pandemic, I stopped going to the barber shop, but my wife was cutting my hair, which seems to be the path going forward. And so Kelsey was cutting my hair out on the back by the swamp where they live. And so I get a text message from my manager, who I barely talked to during the pandemic because there's nothing going on. And he said, I think you just got a Grammy nomination. I text back, no, you mean we're eligible to get nominated. And he's like, no, I think you just got a nomination. I'm like, no, I don't think so. It's like, hold on, I got to check. And then like all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. And it was like, holy shit, like, wow. It was just kind of the such an epic moment. And, my wife's like here, and like, my parents' house, my wife's cutting my hair. We're out playing backyard barbecues, and in the middle of the pandemic when nothing's going on, and this record that I really cared about, didn't really get a shot because the pandemic, and we didn't get to tour on or nothing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we got the Grammy, and it was like such a sweet moment. And then it was really cool.
Yeah. I can't
I
even
never forget it.
Oh man, you deserve all that success. That's amazing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's incredible. So I have to tell how us reaching out to you, how this came about is we were interviewing Tyler Williams of a band called The Head and the Heart. Do you know them?
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So you came up because he was making a joke about the Spinal Tap album in the movie, which is Smell the Glove.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
And we both kind of agreed that we were like, oh, G-Love should make an album.
Smell the G-Love.
And then when that happened, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to tweet at G-Love and see if he'll do this too.
Hey, here we are, man.
And here we are, man. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
So that being said, we expect sometime in the future an album called Smell the G-Love.
Smell the Glove. Which is an interesting title because anyone who's ever smelled a glove, and I'm sure you have, like your ski glove or something, you can't help it. You're like, let me just smell this thing. Yeah.
It's never good.
It's never good, but it's kind of, that kind of thing.
When's the last time do you have picks on your fingers?
Yeah, sorry. It's like
No, I love it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you played 12-bar blues?
Like probably my last gig.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I play 12-bar blues every night. Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too good for 12-bar blues anymore.
Wait, what's that?
I said you're never too good for that as a musician.
Oh no, I mean that's like that's kind of everything. I mean, but here's the thing is that like I'm a blues man, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I say that because I can say that because I earned it, you know what I mean? But I've always thought of myself as a blues man, but that's what the 12-bar blues is. But, so that being said, it's like, it's not like a snobbery thing, but like, it's just, I've always felt this really deep connection to the blues. And so, like I don't really like to, like if we're going to get together with a group of musicians or you and I are going to sit down with a couple guitars, like that's not really the thing. Is like let's just start with the blues, like that's not really a thing for me. Cause it's kind of like devalues it. Like, it's, I mean, it's kind of, if to me, it's like, I'm saying like it's such a root of like everything I do and like how much emotion you can put into and just how much you can like mess with. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling, but I guess the point is that like there's like I don't know. It's just to me it's just like it's just kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like I can't take it seriously. But not kind of seriously, but I just don't want to like just just jam the blues. You know what I mean? I want to like really make some blues if we're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'd rather just like do like something different.
Yeah. What I gather from what you're saying is that you're protective of the blues.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
And what it represents to you and a whole group of people. And that's why it's called the blues.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Thank you.
No, you were there. You had it. I just wrapped it up in a bow.
No, I like that. G-Love, protective of the blues.
We're like I said, we were thrilled when you agreed and Jason told us. I was calling everyone I knew. What's the last thing you dropped?
Well, I just dropped my AirPod and I'm really pissed off about it because I know it's somewhere around here. So I did a Zoom party for the guys that invented the AirPods, and they sent me some AirPods. And now, of course, I've seen everybody walk around with the AirPods, and I think, man, I think, how could you keep that without losing it? And I'm not going to get them. But then I got them sent to me, and I've been doing really well not losing it. Until today, I was doing my mow, and so I have my like headphones on with my earbuds and AirPods in. I'm listening to a podcast, and my wife starts, doing wifey shit and asking me something right when I'm at the end. So I take my headphones off, and now one of my AirPods is gone. I know it's somewhere around here because when I keep picking up on my phone. So that's the last thing I've dropped. One of my AirPods. I only have this one.
I hope you find it. There should be like a app where you find it, like it beeps.
Right.
Can we invent that?
I think you probably make $1 million.
Oh, all right. And let's partner.
Your podcast is short-lived if you can become the inventor of the AirPod Finder.
AirPod Finder.
And I will make one other admission is that I found a pair of AirPods in the gym the other day in some place where I was, and I gave them to my wife. I left the gym with them. And here's the reason that I did it, because I don't know, that person might have already been on a plane in a different state. And I know how it is to like lose shit on the road. And I lose a lot of shit. Sunglasses, headphones, lighters.
Yeah.
So someone that has all the shit I lost, right? And I saw the AirPods. I said, I'm not going to keep them. I'm going to give them to Kelsey, and then she can decide what she wants to do. Well, she decided to keep them. So then I said, well, this is kind of a bad AirPod karma, because if I get the AirPod now, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Now I've lost one of my AirPods.
I hope you find them, and we'll invent something.
Thank you.
I'm old school. I like the cord, and I don't know if you grew up doing this. When I was growing up, we put it in our shirt. The cord, like when we went to school.
Oh, and at the back. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
We went because when we went to school, we would hide it. You'd put them in, or headphones, and so the cord was in your shirt.
Yeah, when I went to school, they didn't have that.
Fair enough.
Like when I went to school, the Walkman was invented, like the Sony Walkman, the yellow one. But yeah, I remember like when the first Sony Walkman came out, it was like this silver Walkman, and then the yellow sport one came out. But yeah.
Did you ever have it in your car where it had the cassette plugged in? So
with the cool.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was like the cassette that plugged in. It had a wire coming out.
Yeah.
Of it. Right.
And that's how you played it over your speakers in your car.
Yeah. That's
man.
Classic, man.
All right, Philly question here: Geno's fries or Pat's fries?
All right, it's so funny that you say this. Wait, well, you're not from Philly, right?
No, but I've been, and I have friends. So
all right, so we have a new record we just made. We're making it. We're in a post-production stages, and we got this one song called "Love from Philly," which is the first song on the record, and it has Schoolie D, the rapper, on it. And my verse goes, and don't say it from Philly if Cherry Hill, no, and don't ask about Geno's or Pat's. I say you're from Philly if Cherry Hill's where you hang your hat. So here's the thing: is that if you're not from Philly, you ask that, you go Geno's or Pat's, right? But anyone from Philly knows that like Geno's and Pat's, look, they're legendary. I'm not going to say that they suck. I'm just going to say that there's a lot better cheesesteaks in Philadelphia than Geno's or Pat's. And so when people say like, oh, Gino, and then the other thing that a lot of people do that live around Philadelphia, they say, oh yeah, I'm from Philly, but they're not. They're from like, Cherry Hill or like Pensacola, New Jersey, or they're from like, I don't know, like just like the, different places that aren't like Philadelphia proper. So yeah, so you just played yourself.
I didn't. The question was, I'm from New York, first of all. The question was,
well, that's even better then. That's even better than Philly though. So
the question was Gino's fries or Pat's
okay,
fries.
Pat's fries. Okay, all right. So you're excusing yourself. So I don't even know because I don't know. But I kind of want to think that like Gino's fries are like crinkle cut and Pat's fries are not. Is that right? I don't know. But I don't know because like I refuse to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. I played myself with G Love here.
No, I mean I'm just teasing you.
No, I know. What was your I love the kids book, by the way, because as a traveling dad myself, it's great. I have it. I bought it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I loved it a lot. What was your favorite book as a kid?
Wow. You know what's popping into my head is the Goodnight Moon. But then I think my father used to read The Hobbit to me.
Okay.
And that was like that became like a real big, kind of, thing for me, like The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and all of the Tolkien books.
Yeah.
Kind of like when I was in my 20s, like before the movies came out. And even so that I wrote this one, what I think is a terrible song now called 100 Magic Rings.
I know that song.
Yeah.
That song
That's like when I was like obsessed with like, it's like the only books that I've ever read more than once, like are the Lord of the Rings trilogies. And like I love them so much. And then when the movies came out, like I loved the movies too, but it kind of like it definitely took away something when everybody knew about the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, you know what I mean? Because before it was like just the people that read the books, like people were really into it, And then everybody knew about it, and you're like, well, you can't drift away from it.
Oh man, I think that was two great answers in one. Way to go. Do you again, this is so dumb. Do you consider mimes as clowns?
Wow, that's a really good question.
It's existential.
Not memes, like mimes.
Yes.
I'm gonna say no. I think they're in a category all to their own. Yeah. What about you?
I said yes. Abby said
really?
no.
Okay.
I said yes. Abby said no. So I guess I'm outvoted. They are performers. Yes, they are. Here we're getting to some real
some mime. I mean, that's a great question. Never been asked that one.
How much money did Ben Stein give you?
Ben Stein, man, well, that guy to be the house band on the Ben Stein show was just a really uncomfortable experience for me. My drummer, however, loved it. And I was having a real tough time with the fact that he was a Jewish Republican because and it was like during the George Bush election.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really couldn't wrap my head around like, because I'm friends with like a lot of.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, probably best. And yeah, Ben Stein gave me no money. Well, that's not true. I mean, I was saying Ben Stein paid me handsomely. I think. Oh, Ben Stein paid me handsomely to be on the house band, which was a challenge for me. That was a challenge for me to be the house band.
Yeah.
But my drummer was awesome. I was too kind of nervous to be like the personality guy because they like. But I'll tell you a funny story that happened during the Ben Stein filming because we had a lot of cool guests on, and one of them was Gene Simmons from Kiss, right? So Gene Simmons, when he came in, he had like all this merchandise. So he was like, he wanted the band, right, to wear Kiss t-shirts, right? And I was like, well, I'm not wearing a Kiss t-shirt.
Yeah,
it's not my style. You know, I mean, now I was a Kiss fan. Like I have double platinum. That was one of my first records.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, that's not my style. I'm not gonna wear a Kiss t-shirt. But Jimmy Jazz was like, hell yeah, I wear the Kiss t-shirt. So then during the show, my older son's mother was there, and she was in the front row, and so of course during the breaks we had to play.
Yeah.
So then during the breaks when I'd be playing, he would go down because she was cute, and during the breaks he would go hit on my baby's mom. He would literally like get up from sitting next to Ben Stein during a commercial break and like go hit on my chick while I'm playing. And then he'd be like, all right, Ben would be like, okay, we're gonna start up again, Gene. He's like, and then at the end of the show, he's like, all right, he went to Jimmy Jazz. He goes, I'm gonna need that t-shirt back. So he let him keep the t-shirt. He like took the t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I mean, because obviously it's worth like more money than God. I was like, wow, he just took the.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious? Yeah.
Did you ever say anything like, hey, Gene, back off my lady?
Yo, Gene, no, man. I mean, it's Gene Simmons. If he's gonna fuck your chick, he's gonna fuck your chick. Which he didn't, I don't think. But no, but I mean, he famously slept with like more women than anybody. So
yeah.
So what a great reputation.
We had to ask a Ben Stein question. Just one, I remember that show, and two, we watched a video last night, and you have your long hair and you're wearing
sunglasses.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No way. Wait, what did I have? Long hair and sunglasses on?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was Dale Earnhardt Jr. episode.
He is cool. He is a cool guy, man.
Yeah, he seems pretty chill.
Actually, we stayed in touch with him. We stayed in touch with him.
Oh yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So yeah, it was interesting thing. But I'd tell you what was really cool was I got to stay out in the Rock and Roll Hyatt on the Sunset Strip for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
While we filmed the show, and that was like pretty epic to be just out in LA for a couple of weeks. Just like it was cool, man.
The riot.
I'd probably be way better at it now. Be way better at that kind of thing now than I was then. I just wasn't like, comfortable doing that then.
Yeah. We should get you on Conan's new show.
Yeah, well, Conan is like, he's the greatest, man. Like that was our first late night hits were on Conan O'Brien. And actually, the first time we played on Conan O'Brien was the first time we played this on Blues Music on national TV. Oh, yeah. And that was like a huge thing for us because the record sold like a lot of copies like that next week. Then the next time we played on Conan O'Brien for the second record, the single was Kiss and Tell. And you're not going to believe this, but the night that our show was the night that the OJ Simpson chase happened.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So of course, like our show didn't air like at the regular time, like it aired like 1 a.m. So we didn't get like a lot of exposure. But yeah, I show you not that like you can't make this shit up, man.
No, I was just about to say it's like you're adjacent to history throughout your career. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's like you can't, you have the opportunity to be on national television. It just happens to be the night that OJ Simpson's is leading the entire Los Angeles Highway Patrol on like a 4-hour chase, and all the networks are just watching his car roll down the highway.
God, dude, pick a different day, OJ. Oh, can you please? Okay, so if you make an album called "Smell the Glove," you have to sample the Liberty Bell in one of the songs.
Gong.
That's
dong.
not even,
no. It's dong. It's not gong, by the way. Dong.
It's not even a question. It's a request.
Okay. Fair enough.
And old school question: did you ever pull over on I-76 to pee?
No.
No.
Because there's no place to pull over. I mean, although at least, yeah, by the towards the city. I mean, yeah, no. Although I could say you could do it as you got, because you could drive it all the way to. Actually, doesn't it go all the way across the country, or at least to Pittsburgh? So it must go all the way across, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Like the even numbers go east and west, right? And then the odd numbers go north and south. I-95.
I mean, I didn't know that at all.
I-5, 405.
Yeah.
All right. Route 66 goes even, goes straight across.
Fair enough. Okay, the most important question: do you call soda or pop?
That's a good one because I call it soda because I'm from Philadelphia and from the East Coast, and then the Midwest people call it pop, and you're like, and that's like a weird thing. When you have like a girlfriend, she says, "Oh, you want a pop?" Like Kelsey's from Michigan, so she says pop.
Fair enough. I had a friend, one of my best friends growing up. His name was Marcus. He was from Philly, and he called it pop.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And his whole family.
Was he from Philly or was he from Cherry Hill?
No, he wasn't. Philly.
He's Philly.
Yeah, his whole family, Philly Italians, and called it pop. And
wow. Huh.
Didn't know why. Yeah.
What do you call it? New Yorkers call it soda, right?
Soda, yeah. Soda. We call it, actually, I take it back. We call everything is Coke.
Everything's Coke.
Coke. Everything is. So you're like, okay. I want Coke, like a Coke. What kind? Sprite.
Okay.
You're like, wait, what? And so what is next for We Love?
Family with my over at my mom's house tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And dinner over at mom's house tonight, and we're just kind of starting getting open for business. So we're starting to open up, and the offers are starting to come back in, and so we're going to be kind of getting ready to do some more on the books kind of regular shows and festivals and stuff. And then most importantly is this record that I just made, which was almost which was a pilgrimage from Philadelphia to Mississippi, and the record's called Philadelphia, Mississippi, named after the city in Mississippi called Philadelphia.
Yeah,
we didn't record there, but we recorded in Coldwater, Mississippi, at Luther Dickinson's studio, Zebra Ranch. We took Chuck Treese and I, who's a legendary, Philadelphia musician. We went down, took our hip hop blues thing down there, and we invited a lot of like hill country and Delta blues musicians into the studio from the younger generation and the older generation. So some of the guys and then we took it back to Philly to get some of the hip hop legends on it. So we have some blues artists like Kingfish, Luther Dickinson, John Tavius Willis, Sade Turner, Cam Kimbrough, who's Junior Kimbrough's grandson.
Oh, wow.
Trenton Ayers, who played with Cedric Burnside, who's R.L. Burnside's grandson. This woman, Takira Jackson, from his band Southern Avenue. Alvin Youngblood Hart, who was my old label mate on OK Records. And an old timer named R.L. Boyce, who was, it's like I waited my whole life to be able to like sit down with like an old time real, it was just like, as like a student of the blues, just to be able to go down and just really soak it up and experience the real players that are born into this music, and it's part of their culture for generations. It was a really special experience. So really looking forward. And then we took it back to Philly, and like I said, we got this rapper Schoolie D, who's the originator of gangster rap from Philadelphia. Like he had this song, "Looking at My Gucci, It's About That Time," and most famously, now, well, not most famous, but more recently famous for like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
Like that's, if you know that show, like that's his voice on the theme song and stuff. And another epic rapper from New York, actually, Freddie Fox.
Oh, I love Freddie Fox.
Yeah, no,
Wow,
so yeah,
old
so
school.
Freddie Fox, yeah. So Freddie Fox is on it, and I think there's gonna be a Mississippi rapper named Al Capone on it.
Okay.
So yeah, man, this record is it's just really cool, man. I think it's gonna be it's just one of those things. Like, we kind of struck gold on this one, and it's got everything that, like, yeah, I just can't wait for the world to hear. So Philadelphia, Mississippi. So I'll be coming out probably in 2022, and featuring all those people we just talked about. So that's the main thing. That's the main thing. That's what's next.
That's incredible. And I have to say, if it's okay for me to say, I can see it on your face, that love. Just when you're describing and naming all the musicians and that journey, you can see it, man.
I mean, it was a special thing, man. Thank you. Yeah,
man. Well, that's our interview.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone who's listening. I don't have to tell you this. If you're listening to this, chances are you already follow and support G Love and all his projects, but do it again. Start another Instagram and follow him. It's G Love across the board. What's your Instagram is
Philly G Love, Philly Glove on Instagram, at G Love, at Glove on Twitter, G Love and Special Sauce on Facebook, and our homepage is philadelphonic.com. And that's where you can get to everything. Yeah, man. And if you want to book a private backyard party while we're still doing this off the radar shit, you can email my wife, but please be respectful. Serious inquiries only. gloveshows@gmail.com. So
I just want one for my birthday in October.
Yeah, man. And now you can get me on Cameo too for your birthday at Philly G Love.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay, everyone, thank you. Like, from the bottom of my heart, as a fan, first and foremost, journalist second, thank you so much for doing this.
Say thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Oh, I love your hair.
Doctor.
Well, all right. Well,
Dad, can I play
thanks so
Pokemon?
much, you guys, and I'll be looking out for more. Thanks for including me, and I'm glad I came up in the conversation. We got to have this great conversation, and thanks for writing 800 questions. That was, and I will say this, because I was thinking about the format bothering the band, and I was saying, well, I'm sure he's going to ask the worst question ever, which is, what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you at a show? So thank you for not asking that question.
No, we don't ask the normal questions.
No, I love
Dad,
that. I
Dad,
love it, man.
Dad.
Hold on, I'm just finishing up.
I'm real curious what he's going to ask you.
Okay, what do you want, bud? What were you gonna say? Can I play Pokemon? It's his new obsession.
That's amazing. And what a great way to end this episode. Everyone, give it up.
Yeah, go play Pokemon. Go play Pokemon. We don't even have, there's no Pokemon video games. It's gonna...
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you soon.
All right, see you, man.
Take care.
No more lies about this, no more lies about that. No more ace up your sleeve, please just lay your cards flat. See how peeps had it rough when the struggle is tough. Bad news on the news every day, it's enough to make good people turn around and leave. How about we march in the street with free, raise our fists in the air, cause we do care. You say who cares? We do. We got the juice, we got the love, we got the dream. We won't give up. We are the change. We had enough. We got the juice. Time's up. Divided you fall. United we rise. It's been hard to see through all these tears in our eyes. So why do we cry when teardrops they stain? Just like Cat Stevens, we ride a peace train. Oh, let us be real. You must be insane in your brain. Something's wrong, so you cannot remain. We need positive change. We will not regress. Power to the peaceful, we must progress. We got the juice. We got the love. We got the dreams. We won't give up. We are the change. We had enough. We got the juice. Time's up. So let's get loose, baby. Let's get lifted. Something going on now. You sure don't wanna miss it. You can feel it in the streets. From your head to your feet. And from sea to shining sea. This is a letter, but also a song. If something's not right, then it must be dead wrong for the birds and the bees, the mountains and trees. Every single person's sanity. Humanity's all of us, colors, all kinds. We want world peace and we want peace of mind. We don't want war, we don't need more guns. We want a better world for our daughters and sons. We got the juice.